Hi, everyone. I know that this was a last minute Zoom meeting again, so I apologize for the short notice. I guess I had a little hiccup with my email and it didn't go out to everybody. But thankfully, Jamie Malcolm is able to be on today. So say hi, Jamie.
Hi, everybody.
So today, I just want to do a quick Zoom meeting to give you guys a chance not only to earn your bonus points, but also to talk about something that I think is a really important focal point of being on any type of health program. And the biggest emphasis I can put on that is health. Health is not just about the number on the scale. And during this challenge, I've had many of you write me with questions about why you've seen weight gain or weight loss or no change and on the scale. It's always been focused on that number on the scale. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about the importance of recognizing the different dynamics that actually go into creating a healthy lifestyle. And I'm going to have Jamie share any ideas she has as well. So feel free to chime in if you think of something, Jamie, but I'm just going to kind of go off of the things I have in my mind right now. The big thing is health is it's multiple points. It's not just about that number on your scale, especially because the scale can kind of cheat you and lie to you, if you will. Because not all scales are created equal. And so if you get on a scale at your house, for example, and it tells you your one number, and you walk out the door and go to the scale at the gym, you may get a completely different number because they're not calibrated the same. Even analog scales that you roll and set at 0, they can be inaccurate. And I have a perfect example. Doing this challenge, I also had to weigh in just like everybody else. And I've been pretty much the same weight for the last 2 years after doing the health program and losing everything. I stay between 110 and 115. That's my average. I'm very short, so I'm allowed to be that small. But I never really struggle in that window usually. Well, I have an analog scale that I've been weighing myself on for the last little bit, and I've sat around 110, 115 at the most. And I was feeling pretty good and like it wasn't, going great. And then I buy this digital scale for the challenge and I got on it and it said I was 122. And I'm freaking out like, oh my gosh, how did I gain so much weight? And then I moved the scale on the floor and I was 117. And then I moved the scale a different place and I was 110 again. So I started noticing that there were different places in my house where the scales weren't sitting even. And so I wasn't getting an accurate reading. Now, I know a lot of us keep our scale in the same place in our house. So maybe your scale going up and down isn't because it's going bad or it's in the wrong place in your home. But when you see that number on a scale, it instantly identifies something in your mind that you're gaining weight and you're doing something wrong. But that may not be the case. Fluctuations in weight are very normal throughout any type of health challenge or diet. And even in natural, healthy living, I would be very unhealthy if I was always the same weight. My body should fluctuate some because it's going to give and take with what it retains and releases. So that's why I say I'm always in a healthy range of 110 to 115 because on any given day I can be inside of that range. Now when my numbers start creeping up above 115, I know I'm not doing something right and I know I need to pay more attention to my foods to get myself to get back in that range. But I wanted to kind of talk today about cautioning you guys against putting such a high prize on that number on the scale. I know the number on the scale is going to be a big part of the challenge winnings because they're judging us on how much we've lost. But this challenge is really about getting healthy. It's really about focusing on your health. The weight loss is just a perk. It's just a bonus. Everything else is kind of a part of this big scheme of changing your health into a habit that can last for life. So you can continue your weight loss if you need to lose more after the challenge ends, or you can continue to maintain that weight that you've earned by working so hard during the challenge. So one of the things that I like to tell people is to think about the 3 components of health: healthy body, healthy mind, and in my mind, healthy finances, because finances play a huge role into your body and your mind. If you're not financially sound, you might not eat as healthy because cheaper food is not always healthier food. Or you may feel stressed, so you eat more out of stress or eat less out of stress. Your mind may not be as in tune because you're stressing about your finances. So spiritual health, financial health, those are also very key components to being a healthy person. And so when I talk to my normal clients, like people who have hired me to be their health coach, there's a lot of things I tell them to focus on. Jamie actually happens to be a client of mine. And Jamie, can you share some things that we've talked about as coach and client about ways that you focus away from the scale?
One thing, doing measurements, especially when you're on 5 and 1, you do measurements in more than just one place. You do like your neck, you do your arms, you do your waist, and you do your legs. So you can see that even when the scale, because, like she said, blood vessels and body weight and things shift, fluids shift in your body, as you change, but you're going to see that parts of your body are getting smaller. Because I know that I went through a plateau area for probably, was it like a 3 week, I think it was 3 or 4 weeks that I went through where I was losing inches, but I wasn't losing weight. And I was frustrated because on plan, when you're on 5 and 1, usually you're losing at least kind of regularly, 1.5 to 2, 3 pounds every week. And so we focused on that. And then all of a sudden, you have to realize, your body's getting used to this change. And then like after that plateau, all of a sudden, like I lost weight in inches, like it was huge. Like I think I dropped like 8 pounds in 1 week. And like I think I had like with all the varying degrees of inches, it was like a 3 or 4 inch loss also altogether total. So that was huge.
It was huge. It was huge.
And then you have to realize too, like the way your clothes fit you is another big one, because your clothes tell you how you're really feeling. You know what I mean? Because there's times where the scale has showed me something small and I'll put on a pair of jeans that feel tight. And I'm like, okay, the scale says I'm this number, but my clothes are telling me I'm something else. My clothes to me are always my true scale of how I'm doing, because I threw away all my fat clothes and I'm not buying new flat clothes. And so when my clothes don't fit me, that's another big one. I also have this phantom body image problem where I feel like I am unhealthy, unfit. Fat girl is kind of the thing in my head, that I remember who I was 2.5 years ago, and I can't erase that image sometimes. And then when someone tells me, oh my gosh, I can't believe how skinny you are, it shocks me. And it shouldn't shock me, but I think that I was a certain way for such a long time that you have to forgive yourself and realize that just because you eat a couple of bad meals or something like that, like you're not failing. You just have to refocus. And I think that's what this plan and this challenge is all about. And then I want to point out that a couple weeks ago, I think I posted that Kellogg's commercial that the actual title of it was "You're More Than a Number." And the Kellogg's commercial, it was about going into a jean store and none of the jeans had size on them. And instead, someone from the store walked up and said, "Can I measure you?" And on the measuring tape, it had different names like cherished, amazing, fantastic, and things like that. So I think the thing is we need to all be realistic. And that number on a scale is just that. It's a number. It's not who we are. And we all have goals. But I think that, talking with someone with Christy, like, health coach wise, they can help you set realistic goals that are realistic for you. And goals change. And I think that's the best part of a goal, is that your goals can change, because you can be healthy at one point. And then maybe you have a certain goal. And then if you're even healthier, you can reassess your goals and start over. But if you fall off the wagon, or you lose focus, you can reassess and start to what that goal was in the beginning. So I think you need to realize that it's an evolution of fitness all around.
Exactly. And that is a really key thing. You're changing yourself for the better. Whether you're on my health program or you're on just a challenge, the whole goal about this is to get healthy for life. The whole goal is to focus our minds on these goals of changing our habits, fixing the things we've been doing wrong, so that we can find success in health consistently and not constantly feel like we're yo-yoing between one and the other. And it is true, setting goals that are valuable to you, not to somebody else, because Jamie's goals are going to be very different from my goals in a lot of ways. We have some similar things, but our health goals, our perspective goals, they're going to change. And even as a client in maintenance who's lost her weight, she can come to me and say, "Hey, this is what my current goal is. What do you think?" And we can work together to come up with strategies to help her reach that. Or if she's struggling, same thing. She has an ear to lend some advice from. So one thing I do want to mention is it's not uncommon to see weight gain. Things that can cause weight gain is eating a lot of sodium, so you have water retention, not eating enough food. your body will instantly start to store food if you're not eating enough. If you have too large of a calorie deficit and you are overdoing it, for example, at the gym, and you're trying to eat an 800 calorie diet, not going to happen. You will gain weight. Your body will not sustain itself. You can be constipated. Constipation, believe it or not, can be 2 to 3 pounds worth of weight, because along with what's stuck up in there, you also get liquids and fluids around your body to protect it. So you have a lot of things that can cause natural weight gain, and that's why I highly recommend you don't weigh yourself every day. If you are listening to this, raise your hand if you're a daily weigher. I used to be. I've had to make myself put my scale away and be a once a week weigher. And the reason for that is, again, if you're focusing solely on that number, you're going to add stress to your day that you don't need. And you're going to change daily. But if you're weighing once a week, you're going to get a really good measurement of what your body's doing every week, because it's giving you 7 full days for your body to make up its mind. And usually, if you're doing things right, you're going to see a weight loss. And if you're not doing it right, you may see a little bit of a struggle, but it's a good indication of what your body's doing. Measuring yourself. I tell all my clients to measure. And like Jamie said, you can measure multiple parts of your bodies. Primary things I look for as a coach: measure your arms, like in this region, so you can see if you have a little bit of sag underneath your arm, you can see when it's shrinking. Your chest, for women, I recommend across your bust at the largest area, as well as your bra line. Men, just your chest. Waist, belly button. Some clients measure their necks because their necks will change in size. Wrists, depending on how much weight you carry there. I recommend measuring around your hips, your bottom at the largest area with your feet put together, and each thigh, and individual sides of your body, left arm and right arm, left leg and right leg, because you'll be amazed to see some weeks you'll lose a little bit of weight off of one thigh and not off the other, because your body doesn't take it off all in the same way. It's not linear. Weight loss is never linear. It's always kind of a little bit of an ebb and a flow. So
I want to talk, I think too, with all that, sleep is a big thing. You need to get those 7 hours. If you're not getting 7 hours of sleep a night, I can attest that during the plateau time, we realized that I was only getting 5 and 6 hours.
Yep.
Because I'm naturally a night owl, and it's sometimes it's hard. And then like, oh, I can't eat till 10:30, and then oh well, I need to and they tell you to kind of stay up maybe 30 minutes after, have something to drink after, whatever. So I was not going to bed until 12 o'clock some nights, whatever. And if I had to get up at 6, I'm getting 6 hours, whatever. Getting that 7 hours is crucial. Because when I get 7 hours, I feel rested, and I just, your body needs to rest. So that's another one I want to say that's another big one. Sleep.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for pointing that out. And I know you guys have heard some of that in our challenge videos and daily readings. We talk about sleep. As a coach, that's a big part of program, is getting adequate sleep, balancing your foods, all that. So yeah, thank you for pointing that out, Jamie. That's a key that I don't think I had mentioned yet. And getting your water. Weight loss does require water. You need to be drinking. Yep, good job. I have mine right here too. I always have water with me now, and I notice that when I don't drink enough water, I don't see numbers on my scale change. And sometimes I'll see a gain because my body starts to retain stuff because it can't flush it. So I know that all of us struggle with different things. If you find you're struggling with that number on the scale, let's find a different thing to focus on. There are some things you can do to change your mind. So one thing is put a sign on your scale. I'm only weighing in once a week. This is weigh-in day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever your weigh-in day is. And then stick to it. And if you have a hard time with it, have a spouse or a boyfriend or a friend remove the scale for you and bring it back on your weigh-in days. You guys have champions in those of your friends and family members who want to see you succeed. Utilize them. If you're challenging yourself or struggling because you're looking at that number all the time, have somebody take that temptation out of the house or out of the room so you're not looking at it. Number 2, make a victory board. Put something on your wall. I've talked a lot with my clients recently about this, but get a spot in your house where you are showcasing your victories that have nothing to do with the scale. Maybe you got a different size pants on today. Maybe you had an extra half a mile walk. Maybe you got an extra 20 ounces of water. Maybe you realized today that you don't judge yourself so harshly anymore. Any victory that is not scale related, make it a big deal. Show yourself that you are focusing on your health and making that a priority over just that number on the scale. The number will go down if you're doing it right. And that's the beauty of doing a challenge or a program right, is that if you're doing it right, you will see the decrease, you will see the health benefits coming. But if you're not changing what's up here in your mind, then you're not really changing your habits of health. All you're doing is eating to lose weight. And that's not healthy. That's not going to make you successful. So I don't want to keep this very long. I just wanted to give you guys a chance to think a little bit about the number on the scale. Ask questions. Feel free to message me. If you're not friends with me on Facebook, add me. If you need my email address, it's iownmyhealth, just like it sounds, a sentence, at gmail.com. Feel free to message me at gmail.com. Challenge website, message me there. You can message people like Jamie. She's doing the challenge too. She has great ideas and she's there to support. We all have a lot of support, especially because we have such a large team. So instead of hiding and being afraid of being successful, reach out and let us help.
Yeah, use the team wall. Like, we're here for support. Like, take advantage of the fact that you've got support right now. So if you're not doing Take Shape for Life with Christy as your coach, she's your coach right now. So we're all there together, and it's okay to share on the wall. Man, today really stunk. I didn't do so good. What are you guys doing to be better with your water? You know what I mean? Like, share your ups and downs, because we're all there to support, and something that you post on the wall may be a same struggle someone else is having, and we can all learn together. So
exactly. Yeah, exactly. We can all learn together, and if somebody isn't struggling with it, they may have a solution for you that you hadn't thought of. Or maybe you just want to share a victory that you got in a smaller size pair of jeans and you want people to cheer you on. Put that up there. We want you guys to be successful. I know for me, the biggest thing about being the health team coach is I just want to see you guys win. And I don't care if the win is financial or not. I mean, granted, I'd love the money too, don't worry. But I know, right? We all want that win, right? Yeah, exactly. But for me, the biggest win would be seeing you guys find success with weight loss, as well as with reprogramming how your minds think about health, so that you can keep that weight loss off when you are now at a non-challenge stage in your life. So please feel free to contact me. Jamie, thanks so much for coming on today and sharing your thoughts. Do you have anything you wanted to add before we close out?
I just want to say that it was good to see your face today.
Oh, thanks. I know, and hopefully we can get another Zoom challenge up there where you guys can actually all come online and we can have a bigger group. I'll keep plugging them out there and try to find a time that works, and hopefully a bigger notice ahead of time for you guys. So everybody have a great day, and listen to the video. If you've listened to the video, make sure you post on the wall so people remember to click the button and get their points for watching the Zoom meetup. And have a great one. Bye, Jamie.
Bye, Christy. Love ya.